And it's like, you know, everybody need a little help on their way to being, you know, self-reliant. I mean, if this is truly a melting pot in the country where we care about it, and Lady Liberty got a hand like this, she really loves us, then we really need to be like that. And it needs to be the black kids. If there's a white person who got money, then you need to help them. You need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it needs to be real. And it needs to be before we all die, and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's gonna be too late, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when you gotta pay your own karma. And that's when God makes you punish, when God punishes you. Because I feel like, you know, it's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic, that's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1 million, $1 billion, and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas. They got big trees, huge trees, all the little trimmings. Everybody got gifts, and then somebody's starving. And they're having a white Christmas. They're having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole 9. That's not fair to me.
I never had much, run with a bad bunch. Little skinny kid sneaking weed in my bag lunch. And Uncle Junior High, we was just getting by. And drive-bys, ride my homies of the young lives. I never did cry, and even though I had pain in my heart, I was hopeless from the start. They couldn't tell me nothing, they all tried to help me. The marijuana had my mind gone, it wasn't healthy. I dropped places, cold cases, what an ill year. I felt the pain and the rain, but I'm still here. Never did like the police, let the whole world know. Now I gets no peace, cause they chasing me down and facing me now. What do I do? These things that a thug goes through, and still I rise to keep your head up and make your mind strong. It's a struggle every day, but you gotta hold on. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, when it's on the song. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong when it's on the song. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong when it's on the song. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong when it's on the song. There's never a good day, cause in my hood they let they AKs pump strays where the kids play. And every Halloween, check out the murder scene. Can't help but duplicate the violence seen on the screen. My homies dying before they get to see their birthdays. This is the worst days, sometimes it hurts to pray. And even God turned his back on the ghetto youth. I know that ain't the truth, sometimes I look for proof. I wonder if heaven got a ghetto, and if it does, doesn't matter if you blood or you cuz. Remember how it was, the picnics and the parties in the projects. Small time drinking, getting high with the Marvies. Just another knucklehead kid from the gutter. I'm dealing with the madness, raised by a single mother. I'm trying to tell you when it's on, you gotta keep your head to the sky. Be strong most of all, hold on. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, when it's on the song. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong when it's on the song. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong when it's on the song. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong. Hold on, be strong when it's on the song. See, hold on, be strong. I know them ain't tears coming down your face, but hold on, wipe your eyes. In this world, when it's on, only the strong survive, sweetheart. I know it's hard out there. Welfare, AIDS, earthquakes, muggings, carjackings. Yeah, we got problems. Cause when it's on, but believe me when I tell you, things always get better. Cause when it's on, but God don't like ugly, and God don't like no quitters. Cause when it's on, but hold on. You know what Billie Holiday said, baby? God bless the child that can hold his own. You know, you got to stand strong. Cause when it's on, and when these busters try to knock you out your place, you stand there to their face. But tell them hold on and be strong. Be strong. Cause when it's the game don't stop. Hold on and be strong. This here is black man. Cause when it's on, but and if you don't never learn nothing, learn one thing. It don't stop till the casket drop. Thug for life. Feel me? my homegirls, stay strong. When things get bad, especially come the 1st and the 15th, stay strong and stay ballin'. Hold on, I'll catch y'all at the next light. We in traffic.